Devastating news, New York Jet fans. Our chances of landing the number one overall pick are dead. Zilch. Over. It's finito. We'll explain why the upset win by the Atlanta Falcons last night affected that. And now what with 1 week left to play? We'll talk about all of it. Boy Green Daily starts now.
I'm going to lose my gosh darn bananas. Boy Green Daily starts now. Zoinks!
Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily. Let's go!
Put your seatbelts on. Get ready for the ride. We're the freaking New York Jets, so we're built for this shit.
What's going on, everybody? I'm Paul Eston Jr., a.k.a. Boy Green. I'm the New York Jets digital reporter for Abby.com. Welcome to Boy Green Daily, a daily New York Jets video show, always talking about the New York Jets. And damn it, this team always gives us something to talk about. That's for certain, even in the middle of a 3-13 year. Folks, if you're watching it on YouTube, come on in, get comfortable, grab a drink if you'd like, take a seat. You likely are waking up to this devastating news, unless you stayed up till midnight last night to watch the Atlanta Falcons upset the Los Angeles Rams to cap off Week 17 and set us up for Week 18. Now, you as a Jets fan may say, what the hell do the Atlanta Falcons or the Rams, for that matter, have anything to do with us as a Jets fan? Well, this is what happens, Jets, when we're playing the strength of schedule game and trying to find machinations of how the Jets can get to the number one overall pick. Man, if these 12 teams lose and these 7 teams win and this windmill falls over, then well, bing, boom, bam, there you go, number one pick. Well, all of that is over. It's dead. It's over. The Jets have no chance. It's literally impossible. Now, the number one overall pick will either belong to the Las Vegas Raiders or the New York Giants. It will be one of those two teams. So the Jets' path to the number one overall pick organically is over. There's no chance for the Jets to get the number one overall pick. And Jet fans, I just want to say that I am with you. I am one of you. I am a fan myself. My arms are open. If you need a hug this morning, bring it on in. Bring it on in. Come on. We'll get a big virtual hug here. I feel you. Because when you go through one of the worst seasons in franchise history, and we don't even know it, right? When we're going through these seasons, they all feel terrible, right? This is the 15th straight year we missed the playoffs. They all have their own excruciating levels of pain. But when you are likely going to have 14 losses, the Jets play the Buffalo Bills this week on the road in Buffalo in their final game in that building. The spread is massive. It doesn't feel good going into that game. And plus, the Jets have lost 4 straight games by at least 20 points. So, vibes are not high, as is. And for you to have the worst December in football history, literally no other team in the history of playing this sport in the month of December have had a worse point differential than we've had this month. This month is sucked. And despite that suckage happening here over the last month, Jets aren't going to get the number one pick. What the hell? Wait a second. We went through all this pain and suffering and we're still not going to get the number one pick? The life of a Jets fan. What are you going to do? Again, it has its own excruciating ways of pain and detail. So, folks, the good news is that we don't have to pay attention to any more of the tankathon stuff in terms of this strength of schedule or this strength of schedule. Folks, the rooting guide is as simple as it gets. I'll lay it out there for you. Only 2 teams have a chance at the number one pick. The New York Giants or Las Vegas Raiders. It will be one of those two. Everyone else has been eliminated from the conversation. So the Jets have no control. They sit on the outside looking in. To me, I think the rooting guide, is simple. You want the Giants to lose to the Dallas Cowboys, which is very possible. The Cowboys opened as a 1.5 point favorite. They're now a 5.5 point favorite. And that one is at home. The Giants are at home at MetLife Stadium. Okay. You want the Giants to lose to the Cowboys. And you want the Las Vegas Raiders to upset the Kansas City Chiefs. The Raiders are at home. The Giants are at home. You want both of these things to happen. You want the Raiders to beat the Chiefs. You want the Giants to lose to Cowboys. If those two results happen, there's no more strength of schedule things we have to pay attention to. The Giants hold a significant strength of schedule advantage over the Raiders. So it's just about the results. But the strength of schedule only matters if the Giants and Raiders finish with the same record. Currently, they don't have the same record. The Raiders are 2-14. The Giants are 3-13. That's because the Giants beat the Raiders over the weekend. If the Raiders lose to the Chiefs, they clinch the number 1 overall pick in the 2026 NFL draft. For the Raiders, it's simple. What was Al Davis's quote? Just lose, baby. Terrible. Just lose. Syracuse alum, by the way. Pour one out for Al Davis. God rest his soul. So that is right, Sharon. She says, we end up rooting for Pop's team? Yep, it always comes back to the Cowboys. So we need the Cowboys to beat the Giants' candy ass all over MetLife Stadium, which shouldn't be difficult. The Cowboys do that all the time. So we do want that to happen because here it is, folks. I wrote this in the column that's in the YouTube description down below this morning. Here's why. So the Jets can't get the number 1 overall pick. Okay? Only the Raiders or Giants can get it. Okay? So who do we, as Jet fans, want to get the number 1 overall pick? Well, it's the Giants, folks. And here's why. Okay? So Dan Graziano, an ESPN NFL insider, recently they had one of these columns where they asked him a question about if these teams that were still in the running at the time, the Jets, Browns, Raiders, all these other teams, like 10 days ago, they asked Dan Graziano to rate on a scale of 1 to 10 how likely it would be if any of these teams landed the number 1 pick that they would trade it. So what would it be for the Browns? What would it be for this team? It doesn't matter what it is for the teams that are eliminated because it's just nonsense. But it's interesting for the teams that are still alive, which are the Raiders and Giants. So Dan Graziano was asked on a scale of 1 to 10, how likely would it be if the Raiders landed the number 1 overall pick if they were traded? And he gave that a 1 on the scale. All of these grades will be based on whether the team likes the top quarterback prospect, Graziano wrote. Indiana's Fernando Mendoza or whomever else it could be enough to justify him taking number 1. The Raiders desperately need a real long-term solution at quarterback. It would be foolish to let an opportunity to draft one slip past them. In other words, Dan Graziano says there's a slim chance in hell that if the Raiders had the top pick, they were traded. All right, that doesn't sound like a good business partner for the Jets. Graziano was asked that same question for the Giants. Let's go over here on a scale of 1 to 10. How likely would it be that the Giants would trade said pick if they got it? He put an 8 on that scale. Remember, he put a 1 on the scale for the Raiders and 8 on the scale. So, long story short, much more likely the Giants would deal it. Here's what he had to say. Quote, similar to what I said about the Tennessee Titans, except the Giants could have a new coach and a new GM if Joe Shane is replaced. If that new leadership has concerns about quarterback Jackson Dart's durability and felt 100% convinced on a quarterback prospect in this class, maybe they make that move. But again, it would be a major surprise from an organization that has reason to believe in last spring's first-round selection, end quote, from Graziano. All that hoopla, all that word salad, what that ultimately means is the Giants should be open for business. They believe they have their franchise quarterback in Jackson Dart. The Raiders don't have a franchise quarterback. So Raiders are going to be trying to pick any quarterback that they'd like. Now, also, quick aside, if you're a Jets fan, the thing you also want to be rooting for is new fighters entering the octagon. What do I mean? Fernando Mendoza's entering the draft. Okay? Fernando Mendoza's entering the draft. But Dante Moore, Ty Simpson, all these other guys, like, what's that part of the conversation? That's all part of the conversation. Real quick, I see people that are flowing into the conversation. I imagine I'm going to have to answer this question a lot. So we have Mo KWLS1. Why can't they get the number 1 pick? Again, strength of schedule. The Jets needed the Rams to win. It's a complicated formula. It's above my pay grade. But the gist is the Jets needed like these 12 teams to win and these 12 teams to lose. If all of that would have happened, the Jets could have gotten the number 1 pick. One of the things they needed was the Rams to beat the Falcons. That seemed to make a lot of, like, in terms of how realistic is that result, seemed pretty realistic. The Rams were an 8-point favorite against the Falcons in their own building last night. But it's football. Anything can happen. They say any given Sunday. This one happened to be on a Monday. So Mo KWLS1. I can't see your handle. Sorry about that, buddy. But I'll answer your question, Mo. And the question is simple, relatively speaking. is that they can't do it. So, yes, the Rams blew it, basically, for people that are asking that in the audience. So, I'm sure I'll have to answer that question a lot. People are coming in and out of the room. This is a live show. But, yes, because the Falcons beat the Rams last night, that eliminated the Jets from getting the number 1 pick, because the only way the Jets could have gotten the number 1 pick is strength of schedule. So they would have had to tie everybody, which would have been the Raiders beating the Chiefs. Maybe that, if that doesn't happen, then the Jets wouldn't have had a chance anyway. But the Raiders would have had to beat the Chiefs. The Giants would have had to beat the Cowboys. And all these things happen where the Jets end up with the same record as the Raiders, and the strength of schedule would have changed where the Jets could have leapfrogged the Raiders. That did not happen. So that's a gist, basically. So they don't have it. So here's what you want to root for, Jet fans. You want the Giants to get the number 1 pick. Giants get the number 1 pick. We can strike a trade with our crosstown rival Giants and get the number 1 pick and pick whatever quarterback we want. That's what I would be rooting for. Yes. And that is funny. Ricky New York Live brings this up. I was thinking about this. BG, former Golden Domer Xavier Watts showed up big in that game. I wanted Xavier Watts in the draft. The Jets did not take him. And isn't this interesting, right? So the Jets don't have a pick this year. That sucks. One of the many things that suck about this year. Xavier Watts, a rookie, I think he went in the 4th round. Let me make sure I get that accurately here, right? The Jets were looking for safeties. They were looking for guys. Xavier Watts, my Golden Domer brother from another mother. He was a 3rd round pick, excuse me. I don't want to overreact. End of the 3rd round pick. He was 96 overall in the 2025 NFL draft. I wanted Xavier Watts. And he has 4 picks this year for the Falcons. 4 more than the Jets have. So, yeah, he had a spectacular night for the Falcons. Yes, I watched most of that game. So he had a wonderful opportunity. Anywho, so shout out Ricky New York Live, my boy Xavier Watts. Appreciate you. I mean, I guess I don't appreciate you because I actually wanted the Rams to win that game, but that's neither here nor there. Now it's over. Now it's Giants or Raiders. If you're a Jets fan, you want the Giants to get the number 1 pick. They would be open for business. They have their quarterback already. They are willing to trade the pick. And Jets, if you fall in love with a quarterback, Dante Moore, Ty Simpson, Fernando Mendoza, whoever the hell the guy is, you don't want the Raiders to cock block you and take the guy you want. That's basically it. We don't know if the Jets like any of these guys. Maybe this doesn't matter. Maybe they don't like any of them, so it wouldn't matter. But maybe they do. Maybe they do love Fernando. Maybe they do love Simpson. Maybe they do love Dante Moore. I don't know who. We don't know the answer to that question. But I'll tell you this. The Jets can't get the number 1 pick organically, but they can still get the number 1 pick by trading up to it. Jets fans, we are in this vicious cycle. Over and over again. It's round and round and round and round. What's the commonality? We don't have a fucking quarterback, okay? We need a quarterback. We need a franchise guy to rally around. As Easy says, sure, we could get the number 2 overall pick. But to me, I think the importance for me is the right team picking number 1 versus us getting number 2, to be honest. Yes, there is a path to number 2, but it requires some voodoo magic too, because the Jets can't leapfrog the Giants in the strength of schedule, so they can only leapfrog the Raiders. So, sure, maybe Giants could get number 1 and we could get number 2. That's possible, I suppose. But if I'm a Jets fan, I care less about that. I care more about the right team getting number 1 because the Giants would be interested in moving. The good news is the Jets are at least at 3. Like, I don't see them upsetting the Buffalo Bills in Buffalo. I guess, didn't see the Rams getting upset by the Atlanta Falcons, so I guess anything can happen. But that would surprise me if the Jets beat the Buffalo Bills. If they beat the Buffalo Bills, then, oh my goodness, they could fall far in the draft order. Let me pull it up here and see what's the furthest the Jets could fall if they beat the Buffalo Bills. So if the Jets lost, or won, which I guess is also losing, they could fall as far as 7 in the draft order. Now, it may not fall all the way to 7 if they beat the Buffalo Bills, but you would fall into the 4-win category. The good news is you can't fall any lower than 7 if you're the Jets, if that's some redeeming news for you out in the audience, because there are 2 4-win teams. It's the Browns and the Commanders. You lose the strength of schedule to both those teams, but either of those teams could also win in Week 18. And quite frankly, Week 18 is funky. It's very funky because people are resting their starters and weird things are happening. Like Herbert is resting, but the Browns are playing the Bengals. So who knows if I assume Joe Burrow is going to play in that game. And then the Commanders play somebody, the Eagles. That feels unlikely. The Eagles, if they beat the Commanders, could clinch a number 2 seed. Again, there's just all these different things. We're all going to get lost in the sauce here. The fact of the matter is that if you're a Jets fan, you want the Giants to get the number 1 pick. You want a chance to trade up for your guy. This is how the cycle ends, folks. You know, in Game of Thrones, they talk about breaking the wheel. We need to break the wheel. We need to stop the madness. We need to get our quarterback. If we get the quarterback, we'll figure everything else out. And people can all argue till the cows come home whether you think the Jets are in a good position to foster and develop a young quarterback. We could talk about that later. Let's get the guy and we'll figure it out. Hopefully AG makes some smart decisions and brings in a mind that has a history of successfully developing quarterbacks, because I don't know if Charlie London really revs my engine. That doesn't inspire a lot of confidence. So let's see. Troy Sturgis here with a YouTube super chat. Let's get to that.
Wow.
I've done 3 mocks this morning and Fernando has fallen, Troy Sturgis says. Hey now. Well, that would be terrific, Troy. If that happens, maybe the Jets kick their feet up and say, hey, we'll let the gods do what the gods do, and we will, maybe something will fall to us. I would like to be more aggressive than that. We have the assets to make it happen. I'm not saying be reckless. I'm not saying, hey, Giants, here's 5 first-round picks and my firstborn son. I'm not saying that, but if there is an opportunity to use some of your assets to secure the quarterback you love, not the quarterback you like, the one you love. If there are 3 in the draft that are worth a damn, and the Jets identify that one of them is LOVE, you pay the iron price to get the guy. Now, if you feel like none of them are there, fine. I'm seeing people in the comment section say, ooh, trade down. Oh, BPA. Okay, you could sell me on that. The Jets have 4 top 50 picks. Those could be 4 starters, and boy, do the Jets need them. They need another wide receiver. They need a defensive tackle. They need a defensive end. They need an off-ball linebacker. They need a corner. They need a safety. I mean, shoot, they need a lot of crap. Quarterback, as we talked about. I mean, they need a lot of BS. So you guys can sell me on the Jets getting the quarterback. You could sell me on building the team. I mean, there's a lot of ways to skin a cat here. A lot of ways to skin a cat. So, Troy, boy, from your lips to God's ears, baby, I would love to give up nothing. That's why I was so gung-ho about getting this number 1 pick. Then we don't have to give up bupkis. We have 5 first-round picks, and one of those picks is the number 1 overall pick. Do you know how fast that could accelerate our potential rebuild here? Or whatever the hell you want to call it. I mean, that could be incredible. Absolutely incredible. But now that's no longer possible, unfortunately. So, yeah, we will be doing plenty of mock drafts, that's for sure, and breaking down all the prospects here. We have 1 more game to go. I will put that, by the way, Troy, towards your raffle ticket total this month, which real quick. Folks, today and tomorrow, the last days of this month and this year's raffle. We have our Jet Santa Funko Pop. Jump in on that action. We have our Nick Mangold tribute shirt that came straight from the New York Jets, which raised money for the National Kidney Foundation. So that's in the mix. This is in the mix. Our Boy Green Woody tailgate package is in the mix if you guys didn't make it this year. So all of that is in the mix. All you have to do is spend $3 on the channel at any point this month. If you spent $2 previously and so you spend $1 either today or tomorrow, boom, you're in. The more raffle tickets. But thank you, Troy. We've added this to your this month's raffle total. James Kennedy says, I take the number 2 pick because I see upside in all 3 quarterbacks. Of course, we need a quarterback developer. Key piece of the puzzle, James. Key piece of the puzzle. That's for sure. Taylor Sterling giving us the old Al Davis says, Raiders who use the number 1 pick on whoever runs a 4.2 at the combine. Hey, they're great. If they want to do something, hey, I mean, here's the other thing to note, right? Nick Faria put this out, and we'll actually be catching back up with Nick Faria We're actually doing an interview with him today. It won't be on Boy Green Daily. It'll be on the MC Show digital channel. We're going to catch up on Jet stuff, react to all this news, and everything else. And Nick put it out there in the universe, and well said. But this was before the news that we lost the number one overall pick. But he said, hey, man, the Raiders could Raider. The last number one overall pick quarterback the Raiders took was Jamarcus Russell, all purple drank. Jamarcus could throw it 100 yards. He looked the part. It was all great. And then he stunk. So the Raiders have taken horrible people in the draft before. So we're not the only shitty organization in the NFL. Like, there's a chance they blow it. They take the wrong guy, right? Maybe they take Dante and Fernando's the guy, or they take Fernando and Dante's the guy. Like, it's possible. So, yeah, Taylor, there you go. That's the spirit. Yeah, possible. Sure. Let me go through the comments and Oh, yes. Let me give some congratulations. It just hit me. So, spoiler alert, because I know all you guys care. I lost the fantasy championship last night. Bijan Robinson went crazy, and I lost the fantasy championship I cared the most about. I lost that to Manchild, so he's a 3-time fantasy champion. He's going to rub it in my face a lot, so it is what it is. And then also, I got my ass kicked in the Boy Green Double Espresso Shot League. Shout out to Joshua Langley and Cecilia Langley. I got my teeth kicked down my throat. He scored 147 points, so congrats to Josh Langley for winning our Double Espresso Shot League. I finished in second place. A lot of second place finishes. I didn't win any fantasy championships this year, unfortunately. The best I did was second place in several leagues. So, is what it was, that kind of year for Jets and everything else. So I guess it only makes sense. So again, big shout out to Joshua Langley for winning the championship last night. Much deserved. And again, I want to give another shout out to our Boy Green Coffee Club champion, Juicy Juke John, who won the championship as well. So those are our 2 inaugural winners. Hopefully we do something cool for you guys. Like I said, we'll talk about it in the Discord, whether a trophy or some sort of a plaque behind me or something that gets everyone's name inscribed on it and their championship and all that jazz. So we'll talk about that. I'd love to do something special. We got to figure it out. We'll figure it out between us. So yeah, we've got more fantasy football championships coming next year. So I want to give a shout out. There you go. The Langley family. You guys, congratulations. Spin Max Dave. Good morning. Forget the number 1 pick. We need number 2 pick now. The easiest way to number 2 is the Giants beat Dallas. Dante Moore be available. Yeah, the Giants could be. So I guess this is one way to view it. Spin Max Dave, right? So you could try to get the Giants to get the number 1 pick, and then that's an easier trade for you. Or you remove the Giants from the picture, and they win and get out of the way, and then you move up a pick and get to number 2. That's possible. Maybe I'm being too whatever the word is. Just, I can't even think of what the word is. Just like, who cares, right? Like Jets, second pick, third pick, or what does it matter? Number 1 is what matters. But maybe you're right, because if you're at number 2, there's a guaranteed floor, because there's no guarantee that the Giants trade with you, of course. Even if they have the number 1 pick or number 2 pick for that matter, there's no guarantee that they trade with you. So that's fair. Upon further review, again, hearing this news late last night / technically this morning, that is a fair point. And if Dante Moore's in and Fernando's in, we're guaranteed to get one of the 2. And then there's no trade required. So that's true, Spin Max Dave. Hey, good thoughts. Old youngsters, I like that shirt, Boy Green. Yeah, it's a nice little hoodie, actually. It's beautiful. I like this sort of script lettering. It's a very nice touch. I'm very lucky to have some really cool, badass Jet stuff. As EZ says, we'd pick number 2 if Giants win and we lose. Yes, I'd have to double check. I don't think there's any other strength of schedule things that would come into play. Yes, that's true. That is very simple. Yes, EZ, as always, is right. Giants are 3-13. Jets are 3-13. Giants beat the Cowboys. Jets lose to the Bills. Jets would leapfrog the Giants. That is correct. The Giants then would drop significantly. They would drop to the 7th overall pick. So they have the same fate as the Jets. If the Giants or Jets win, they could fall as far as 7. Now, it may not be as far as 7, but they could fall as far as 7. If they lose, of course, they can secure their place. So fair. Again, that's why I always enter these shows with open minds, because you guys can convince me otherwise. Dave Briga. I watched a replay of the Patriots game last night. First off, God bless you. I don't want to ever see that again. But anywho, this 2025 version is not a team, but an abominable collection of wannabes. Yeah, I mean, it just seemed like the Jets rolled over. They started 0-7 and they just rolled over and died. I mean, there were some signs of life. They won 3 of 5. They had a hot stretch there, and then they folded like a used lawn chair. So, yeah, man. I mean, this was an embarrassment. I mean, AG. One of the things he said is, I easy call me an AG truther. I'll take that. I'll take that on my chest. And even though it was meant as an insult, I'll take it as a compliment, as an AG truther. I will say this, right? I try to defend AG. I try to say, guys, we can't just throw him off the boat. Let's talk about this. Come on. But one of the things that gets me, the AG's made several mistakes this year. One of the mistakes he made where I'm like, come on, man. So early on in AG's speeches to the community, he says, I want to have a team that you will be proud of. And Jet fans are like, yeah, we want a team we'd be proud of. Yeah, that sounds great. Yeah. Then, like halfway through the season, the Jets are like 0-7. And at some point, AG, I don't remember exactly when this happened, but AG came up to the podium and said, well, I said a team you'd be proud of, but I didn't see a team you'd be proud of now, maybe later. And then for me, even the most diehard AG truthers, like, come on, dude. Come on. What a ingenuine bullshit thing to say. To say a team you'll be proud of. Whoa, I didn't mean proud of today. I mean, hopefully some point in the future. Like, he should have never said that second part. Your first part, fine. My goal is for you and the audience to have a team that you'd be proud of. I'm a Jet. I'm obsessed with turning this thing around. I love the Jets, blah, 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 blah. He should have never fucking said the second thing. The second thing was just like, it just sounded so stupid. To backtrack like that was just dumb. Like, the backtracking that happened yesterday, it happened after our show, right? So immediately after the game, for the first time ever, AG calls out the effort of the New York Jets. Says the players, I don't know, I didn't like the effort. So he's calling out his players after the game. Players here, they're like, what the fuck? I don't know what you're talking about. Some people said that. Some other people, like John Simmons, said, yep, totally see what AG saw. Effort was a question and all that. Then AG speaks after our Boy Green Daily show yesterday on Monday morning, December 29th. And he says, actually, after reviewing the tape, effort wasn't a problem. Effort wasn't a problem. It was this. But as Rich Samini described on social media, it's hard to put the toothpaste back in the tube. You already questioned the effort. They said, actually, the effort was okay. So, like, did he actually change his opinion that the effort was actually okay? Did he catch clapback from some of the players said, what the fuck are you talking about? And he's like, I'm just kidding. Effort's no longer a question. He's just a pushover. I don't know what the truth is. All I know is that some of the backpedaling from our former cornerback was, I don't know. That sort of got me. But that's the one that got me. That's the one that got under my skin. And I'm like, AG, you're making it very hard to defend you, sir, when you say stupid shit like that. And that's the thing where I'm like, a team you'd be proud of. Well, not today, maybe tomorrow or sometime in the future. Like, come on, man. Come on. What are we talking about here, man? Good Lord. Like, come on now. That was stupid. So, yes, even the most diehard AG truther, which apparently I've been crowned as, there are things he says that pisses me off. All right, let's do this. Let's open up the phone lines. I'm sure you guys have a lot to get off your chest. Ooh, before we do that, let's get a super chat in. Our boy Chef Kevin Gilbert has entered the conversation. Let's give a shout out to the greatest chef of all time.
Wow.
Good morning, Boy Green. From Chef Kevin Gilbert, a $2 super chat. Thank you, sir. And thank you to Troy Sturgis's $2 super chat earlier. He asked this very simple question. Good morning, Boy Green. Are you currently proud of our team? Are you currently proud of our team? That's an interesting question. Am I currently proud of our team? Well, here's the thing. And everyone can do as they please. That's up to people in the audience what they prefer to do. And thank you, Chef Kevin Gilbert. By the way, we'll put this towards your raffle ticket total. You're $1 away from a raffle ticket. We'll get to that later in the show, but I'll answer your question. Am I proud of this team? I'm proud enough to wear the gear every day. I'll tell you this: fans can fan how they want. For me, how I live my life, I'm wearing this Jets hat. I'm wearing this Jets hoodie. I'm actually wearing a Jets shirt underneath. Not that you people needed to know that, but I'm never not going to wear my gear. I don't give a shit if the Jets go 0-17 for 1,000 years in a row. The next morning, I'm going to put on my Jets hat and I'm going to step in front of this microphone. So there's a level of pride or stupidity, whatever you want to call it, I guess. And I'm not going anywhere. I don't give a shit, man. I am all in. I've waited 15 years. Now I'm gonna hightail it. I'm gonna hitch now. Hell no. I'm all in. So I'm proud enough to wear the gear every day. But like, if there's any parents out in the audience, I haven't had to pull out this line yet. And hopefully I never have to, because like this is a devastating line. I got this a few times from my pop, where he goes, "I'm not mad at you. I'm just disappointed." That hits you right in the chops. That makes you feel like a real piece of shit. Yeah. It makes you feel like a real piece of trash when that happens. It really does, to be honest. So, am I proud of the team? A simple question that should probably require a simple answer. I'm proud enough of them to continue to wear the gear. I'm proud enough of them to continue to do a show. But I am disappointed. I didn't know if this year was going to be a Super Bowl. I hope every year's a Super Bowl, personally. Now, maybe that's unrealistic and this, that, or the other, but I'm a fan, man. Fans are supposed to fan. We're supposed to dream the impossible dream. Right now, we're 3-13. On Sunday, we could be 3-14. On Monday, we're 0-0. The season's over. I'm on to next year. Let's go. We'll still do some shows, maybe an award show. Oh, now here are the awards for this year, if anyone deserves a gosh darn award. And up free agency, up draft. We'll go through all of it. We do the same cycle every year. But yes, I'm not proud of what I saw. I'm not proud of a Jets team that rolled over. I'm not proud of a Jets team that's lost 4 straight games by 20-plus points. I'm not getting my ass kicked 4 weeks in a row and coming up to the Buffalo Bills. "Please, sir, can I have some more? Please, can you beat me with a pipe?" No, I'm not asking for that. For the tanking people in our audience, I don't want to lose. If the Jets would have beaten the Patriots, that would have been thrilling. If the Jets beat the Bills, that'd be thrilling. Now, it'd be less thrilling if Mitchell Trubisky was in at quarterback. It wouldn't have the same verve, quite frankly. But, yeah, I hope that answers your question, Chef Kevin Gilbert. I'm pissed. I'm an angry Jets fan. I am upset. I am angry. I don't like seeing this product. I will always love this team. It's an abusive relationship, but I always love this team. I will love this team until the day I'm in the dirt. And then in that, I will hope to be buried with some of my Jet stuff. And I will continue to take this Jet fandom into eternity, whether that's hell or heaven or wherever I'm destined to go. Probably hell, but wherever they put me, I will probably be still wearing a Jets cap. So if you pass the street, you're like, "Boy Green, what the hell are you doing here?" I'm like, no idea, but go Jets. That's what's going to happen. We have another super chat here on the program from Junior Jet 05, baby. Let's go. Hit it, Rylana.
Wow.
BG, I cannot stand your pop's ultra-conservative black or white logic. When he comes on and argues his points with you, I end up changing the video and coming back on when he's gone. I will be honest. I didn't have that option when I was growing up, where my pop was telling me something I didn't want to hear. I'm like, boop, 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 boop. Adam Sandler, Click, underrated movie. I haven't seen that in a while, but let me fast forward to this part. Or just I'm gonna change the channel real quick, and then like I'm on a different planet and he's doing his thing. Yes. Yes. That's an interesting observation, and thank you, Junior Jet, for your honesty. That's important. That got me crying a little bit. That's funny. That's funny. Thank you for the $10 super chat, my friend. And you've added several raffle tickets to your contest this month, which is terrific. So great, great, great. 3 raffle tickets, as a matter of fact. So I'm a monkey operating a spotlight over here. We are keeping track of that behind the scenes, Junior Jet. So thank you. That was really funny. It made me laugh, and I think that's what we all, quite frankly, need to do right now. We need to laugh because it beats crying. So thank you, Junior Jet. That was funny. That was funny. There's people saying trade back. People are saying stick and pick. A lot of varying options out there in the audience. I'll tell you this: I appreciate Junior Jet saying, "I know. I wish you did." I appreciate that people have embraced my father on this show. Some people love him. Some people hate him. Initially, there was people. So it's Junior. By the way, real quick on Junior Jet. If you don't want to listen to that and you go to a different video, or all right, now's a good time for a piss break, and you're going to go do that, that's fine. And then you come back when he's gone. That's totally copacetic. You guys can do whatever you want. But I'm glad that we've reached a point when I first started this YouTube channel, which was 5 years ago in September, and when my father first started consistently joining, maybe 2 or 3 years ago, something like that. There was initially people that didn't like him so much. They said, Paul, I'm going to unsubscribe if you keep bringing him on the show. They threatened me. I'm like, oh, okay. And then me and my dad had a conversation off air. My dad's like, well, if the people really don't want me, I'll go. I said, hell no. As much as I love the people, customers always right, all that jazz. And this is a great community. We just surged, and thank you to the community. We just surged over 8,230 subscribers. I'm very proud. Speaking of proud, I'm very proud of our community. Our community continues to grow. We nurture it every day. We water this community. We feed this community. We rally around this community. So I am very fortunate, blessed, humbled to have the community that we have here, which is awesome. Which again, we're up to over 8,230 subscribers. So folks, continue to join the train if you're not already. Hit that subscribe button and join the army. Make sure you guys like the video here on YouTube too. So, but at the beginning, like I said, there's people that threatened, said, you know what, I'm unsubscribing. I'm not going to be a part of this. If your father's going to have any moments on this show. And family is forever. So while I know some people don't like him, some people like him, some people would wish I wouldn't bring him on the show, I am going to forever bring my father on the show. And if I lose a few subscribers, then sayonara. Don't let the door hit you with the good Lord split you. It's not because I don't care about subscribers. I do. It's really cool to have this part of the community. But it's just family. I'm just not going to exclude my father. I am so lucky to be able to do. I'm sure there's a lot of you out in the audience that either have your fathers or had your fathers, whichever, and some of you didn't get to do stuff like this with your. This is my job, man. This is my job. There's a crazy ass snowstorm outside where we might get 2 or 3 feet of snow, and I get to do this. I get to talk Jets with you and react to news and rumors and write about the Jets and all these other things. I am blessed to all hell that I get a chance to do this, and so. I never take that for granted. So I went on a lot of different detours there, but the Junior Jet, that was funny. So thank you. Thank you for that laugh. I needed that. So yes, that was good. We have a membership coming in. Our moderator, Jared B. Baby, gifting a Boy Green Coffee Club membership. Let it rain. Jared B, that is now your 8th raffle ticket so far this month. Beautiful, absolutely stunning. That membership went to, let's get a quick discount double check on that one. I don't even know if I'm allowed to say that anymore now that Rogers isn't here, but that's neither here nor there. M. Vallette has been very active in the comment section. You now received a Boy Green Coffee Club membership. You get access for a month, and then at the end of the month, you'll get an email saying, hey, you want to stick around this Boy Green Coffee Club? And you get a yay or nay. And I try to make it as affordable as possible. That was a big piece for me. $2.99. Thought that was, as affordable as it could be if you look around the YouTube universe. So something else I'm proud of. Try to make it as affordable as possible to be a Boy Green Coffee Club member. If you dig or don't dig, yeah. If you dig it, great. If you don't, great. And see, Green, we get the opposite. I'll leave you if you get rid of Pop. See, there you go. Love it. Great. And to be honest, folks, as much as I love and adore you all saying I'm handsome and super smart every day, which is obviously true, disagreements are the root of everything. It's great. Can you imagine? I just have a take, right? I'm sure my take, right? I started it by saying, "Hey, I'm rooting for the Giants to lose." Easy says, "I'm rooting for the Giants to win," and he gave a compelling case. I'm like, that makes sense. All right. People don't have to just agree with what I say blindly. And what about those calls? Wow, Paul, you had a great take today. Thanks. Yep, that's it. Boop, hang up. Like, I am all about disagreements and conversations. They're great. Havmo says once you meet Pops in person, you'll change your mind, which everyone will have the opportunity to. He will be at the next tailgate. So we still don't know when that game will be or where that game will be. Well, I mean, it's going to be MetLife. We're doing home games. People have offered road games. I'm not ready for the road game thing yet. I want to make sure we kill the home game thing so good that then we can expand out to road games or doing something like that. So the Boy Green Adventures, I don't anticipate going on the road in 2026 unless something new popped up. So our tailgate will be at MetLife Stadium for one of these Jet games. I don't anticipate it being on the road. That includes a lot of extra hoopla that I'm not ready for. I want to make sure if I do things, I do them right. I don't want to do things and then you guys go, wow, that was a shitty tailgate. I don't want that to happen at all. So, hey, I hope I'm doing it until I'm dead. So hopefully that's not tomorrow. Hopefully that's in many years down the road. So hopefully we have a lot of opportunities to do all these tailgates. Yeah. So yeah, but once you meet Pops, maybe you'll have a different opinion. So feel free. I hope we get even bigger numbers for the tailgate in 2026. Craig Mechanic says Pops is old school. He's awesome. I look forward to hop on Pop Saturdays. Keep him on. Yeah. He's not going anywhere. Yeah, he's I really enjoy it. He brings a different perspective. Where did Elon go? I guess Mexico, I guess. It's what I heard someone say. I don't know if that's true or not, but Junior Jet 05. I don't hate him. Sure, he's a great father and all. He's just stressfully condemning of anyone he disagrees with and way too militant in his stance. That is quite a description. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Me and him disagree a lot. Long story short. Yeah. No. We disagree a lot. That's definitely possible. All right, let's do this, folks. We're going to open up the phone lines. We've got over 400 people in the room. Blessed be he. Like the video, hit subscribe. If you are just coming in, and I know people are coming in and out, you're like, what the? The Jets lost the #1 overall pick? Click the article in the YouTube description down below. That is how you can catch up on the conversation. Then feel free to call in once you catch up on the conversation. Long story short, the Jets have lost the chance to select #1 overall randomly on a Falcons-Rams Monday Night Football game. I don't know. It's a strength of schedule, folks. Above my pay grade, but the Jets needed the Rams to win to keep their hopes alive, and they needed a million other things to happen in Week 18. Now none of those things matter anymore. It's all up to whatever you want to root for. You're the rooting for the Giants to potentially get the #1 pick, which would open up a trade opportunity, or as Easy and others have said, actually, Giants win, Jets move up to #2. Possible, sure. The things we don't know yet is, again, new information is coming through on a day-to-day basis. Some people are resting players, some people aren't. The Chargers, Justin Herbert, yeah, take the week off, buddy. Trey Lance is in, which affects the Broncos, because if the Broncos beat the Chargers, they get the #1 seed in the AFC. Their path to the #1 seed, I imagine, got a lot easier with Trey Lance being in the game versus Justin Herbert. So there's all these ripple effects. This decision affects this, which affects this, which affects this. So I have not heard, but I do believe Dak Prescott and company are playing week 18 against the Giants. So can the Giants beat Dak Prescott? They nearly beat him in overtime earlier in the season. Can they do it again? Who knows? So wins or losses. The fact of the matter is there's multiple paths, I suppose. If the Giants win, the Jets lose, Jets could leapfrog the Giants, go to #2. All right. If the Giants lose and the Raiders win, Giants could get number one. Jets can trade with Giants for number one. So there's a lot of different paths here to success, I suppose. So yes. Let's go to Dunk Lloyd says your father gives a different voice and it helps make you unique. Yes, that's also cool. I love my show. We have a lot of cool Jet shows in the universe that give different things to you. Jake Asman, this show, that show, this show, that show. They all provide different things. Jets go wide. All you guys out there in the audience. All right, let's do this. We're going to open up the phone lines here in the program. If you'd like to call in, now is the time to do so. After this half timeout, we will take your phone calls. We exclusively take phone calls on this YouTube channel. So that's youtube.com/boygreen25. If you're live on Facebook, if you're live on Twitter, you can't call in from either of those platforms. I appreciate no matter how you consume. But if you want to call in live, you can do so on the pinned comment on YouTube. For the folks that watch after the fact of the audio only version, we appreciate you in the audience as well. Half time out, more after this.
1, 2, 3. Whoa! Boy Green daily. Talking Jets football, man. Boy Green daily. The New York Jets Football Club. Offense, defense, special teams, watch Jets football with Boy Green. Everyone,
J-E-T-S, Jets.
Boy Green daily. Talking Jets football, man. Boy Green daily. Offense, defense, special teams, watch Jets football with Boy Green.
J-E-T-S, Jets.
Let's go!
Let's go, baby. I'm Paul Eston Jr., a.k.a. Boy Green. I'm the New York Jets digital reporter for Heavy.com. Welcome to Boy Green Daily, a daily New York Jets video show. Also available wherever you get your podcast here on the program. Make sure you guys like the video, hit subscribe. Again, we just recently surged over 8,230 subscribers. Not too shabby, that's for sure. Not too shabby. So let's see. All right, let's do this, baby. Let's go to those phone lines. That is the pinned comment on YouTube. If you guys would like to call into the show, whether you're a first-time caller or long-time participant, either are accepted here on this program. Up first, let's go to Chef Kevin Gilbert, baby, here on the program. Good morning, Chef. Chef? Chef? Chef unavailable. I see. Wait, we've got another chef. Wow, we got multiple chefs in here. Is this like an AI chef? Is that what's happening here? Oh boy. All right. Well, let's try went through. Oh yeah, let's go through door number 1. No one? All right. Let's go through door number 2. There he is.
Good morning, man. How you feeling?
Hey, well, I woke up this morning, blessed. Yes.
That's right. That's a great start, man. Waking up, breathing,
Sure.
putting both on your feet on the ground. Those that don't, still make it happen. Seeing another day, man, is highly important for that.
Real quick,
Yeah.
Frank Caliendo, I just got this Facebook memory of in my phone. It's like, hey, did you know 5 years ago yesterday you did this? And I went to see Frank Caliendo a couple years ago, and he does this Morgan Freeman impression. And one of the things he says at the end of his Morgan Freeman impression is he says, here's my advice in life. Either get busy living or get busy dying. And we got to get busy living, baby. And that's what happened with me waking up this morning. So let's go. Get busy living or get busy dying.
That's it, man. You got the family, family's good and all that. I know you had, wifey's family up there too.
Oh, boy.
Holiday season, man. Gifts. This is the time, man. This is what a time to be alive right now, man. We pivot to sports. It's like hobbies. Some people like yourself, content creators. They get a little bit of change from this stuff, man, which is pretty cool. It's entertainment for us as well. For us, man, us Jet fans. there's topics, man, and when the topics come up, you're either on one side or the other. Is rare when you're kind of like stuck in the middle, and there's a
Mhm.
small percentage of people that are kind of in the middle where it's like, do I like AG? Do I not? With the field stuff, with where the team's going, with what there's a whole bunch of stuff, man. But for us, it's just important that we keep on supporting, our Jet content creators, man. It's been a bad, horrible season, man. Like
Hmm.
none of us projected any of this stuff, man. But before I get going, man, just want to salute to you, man, for what you're doing. Shout out to
Thank
the
you.
coffee club members, man. Shout out number one Austrian Jet fan, man. Keep doing your thing. That boy Johnny boy, man. Get better, man. We all praying for you. Pull through. Happy you made it home for the holidays, man. Just keep on doing your thing. Uh, I felt a little disappointed, man, hearing about the hate on Pops, man.
Yeah.
You
Wow.
know,
Yeah. That.
it was funny because I plugged in yesterday. I slept in a little bit yesterday. I was off from work, so
Nice. Nice.
I slept in a little bit, and I caught him talking. I caught, like, for some reason, I love EZ. All right, he's unpredictable, all that stuff. He's great with the stuff, man. I was shocked that he was surprised that you're an AG truther.
Yeah.
Like,
That one hit me, and he's like, "Hey, just so you know, that wasn't a compliment." I'm like, "Whoa, Jesus, buddy!" I'm like, "I got it. I get." He's like, "You're ugly," and guess what? That's not a compliment. I'm like, "All right, but okay, I got you." Jesus, good Lord, yeah, a little
it's like
aggressive there.
for it's not like hard or crazy for me to like understand AG
Mhm.
Truthin. It's like, yo,
Yeah,
you riding out or whatever, you're gonna
of
defend
course,
him,
he's your
for the
guy.
stuff
Yeah.
that it is. It's so I understand it. But then it's like the position and where we're going, it's like I don't like it. And then for myself, and then hearing, some of the stuff, not all AG Truthers are like this, but for what I'm listening to, it's like you can't say this is being built the right way. All right, there's no way that you got a AG Truth is gonna be like, what, AG, like Glenn, he's doing this the right way. There's no logical way that you guys can wrap your head around what's happening this whole season and be like, what, we're on the right path. Like this is everything that we projected to happen. Nah, and that's where you lose me. All right, like the field stuff. You brought him in. You're telling us you brought in Fields. He's a good player. It was hard for him to game plan against Fields. Like that has to tell you something. If you're
Mhm.
struggling against Fields to game plan your defense at this point, that's an indictment on yourself, man. So, there's been a bunch of stuff. I don't really want to, get into all that stuff, man. It's been
Sure.
a nightmare of a season and all that. But you can't tell me this is being built the right way when then all of a sudden you bench him.
Mhm.
You're telling us like, we believe, I believe in him. He's a winner, all this stuff. And then you go, you scold the media when they ask you simple questions about like, hey, you gonna thinking about a quarterback change or whatever. You scold them, and then all of a sudden you bench him the next game. Like, come on, man. You lose credibility. You lose the fans on that one. But then it's like you talking about his own stories with Campbell and all that, and then Campbell gave me a chance. He's like, "No, I'm giving Wilkes a chance," and then you fire him. Yo, like I can't. Yo, it's tough. It's tough as a man. Come on, as a man, you telling me, "Hey, I believe in you." This on another team, the head coach was giving me a shot. I'm gonna give
Mhm.
you a shot. I'm gonna give you your chance, and didn't even let the whole season, just let the season end, man. Because here's the thing with Wilkes, they're
Mhm.
still running his defense.
Of course they are. Right.
So it's the same BS as last year when you got rid of Solid. You got rid of his defense, and then you bring in Olbrook, who was in way over his head. Never been a head coach before. Now you bring him up, and now he's still calling his plays. It's crazy how Holbrook, what he got in 6 games, right?
Yeah.
6 games in the season. Now he's the head coach. He has got the same amount of wins as AG. Like
That's pretty crazy.
yo, man, with the same roster. Now we're saying, oh, we over evaluated and all that. Yo, come on, man. Stop with the stuff, man. All pros.
Yeah.
Who us as fans over evaluating, and then we're getting all these picks back. That's where I get lost, man. I really get
Mhm.
lost in stuff where it's like, no, 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 we gotta believe, we gotta believe, we gotta believe. Yo, this ain't a part of the plan. The plan A didn't work. Now it crumbled in front of our faces, and he's backpedaling on everything that he's saying. So for me, it's really tough to buy in. But I can't, it's tough to really get at AG truthers where they're like, oh no, this is the way it's supposed to be built. How? Man, stop, man. You can't talk to me about football and understanding about stuff when you're like, yo, this is the plan. This is how it's supposed to go. How? I can't get on board with that, man. I've already seen enough. And here's the thing with us. If you don't go to the games, you can't see everything. You're only seeing what they're showing on TV. All right. You're watching what they want you to watch. I'm watching the sideline this past Sunday. The whole sideline, our sideline, everybody's sitting down, man. BG, you played football, man.
Yes, I did.
Is it acceptable for you to be sitting down on the bench? You're not injured, you're not gassed, nothing like that?
Hell no. You stand up and rally for your team when big plays happen. If Brees always had 59-yard, I'd be running down with him on the sideline like, woo, get on in there, Brees. You'd be engaged,
Dude, I was man. Let's when that Cowboys game we was at,
Yeah.
it was like 50-50, right? Jets,
Yeah.
Cowboys, whatever you want to say, man. 60-40, 60 Jets,
Something
40
like that.
whatever you want to say, man. All right. It was close enough. This Pats game, it was overwhelmingly Pats. Overwhelming, dude. It was overwhelming. When Brees scored that touchdown, and I caught stones all year with Brees, defending Brees, man. You know that.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
He scores his touchdown, dude. We needed something. All right, he scores his touchdown. Boos. You hear nothing but boos, dude.
Yeah.
You could go to the Jet stuff. You see what they post up, man.
Sure.
It's just a sea of Patriots fans all booing him. Why would he want to come back to this, man? Jet fans are checked out. Season ticket holders, people that go that pay money to, they said that's it, man. It's clear as day. It's clear as day. You watch the game, you see the fans and all that. It's all Patriots, man. It was disgusting. How the Cowboys was, they were like, oh, all those fans, they were like, we're sorry for you guys. You'll do a little bit better and all this. Patriots, it was laughing in our faces, like they was the bullies. We're the middle school kids. The high school kids come to our school and tell us what to do in our school. That's the stuff was happening, man. It could have been way worse, man.
Sure.
You know this. It could have been way worse. They're checked out too. The coach even said it, man. I've been saying this stuff for months, man. And then we had callers and people in the chat being like, "Yo, Chef Kev, you wrong. They're not checked out." Yo, the coach finally said it. You see what's happening on the bench, man. Everybody checked out, man. Simpson, that was like, come on, man. He got up. What's the injury on Simpson? Is that disclosed or anything?
That has been undisclosed at this point.
Yo, my man got up. He took a couple of steps and was like, "Man, F all this." He went down. I'm like, "Come on, dude." Like, come, yo, who's still fighting, man? This ain't a part of the plan.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't feel happy with what's going on, man. What's up?
You shouldn't.
So this is my thing. Everything that I said, it's like, how as a fan, somebody that pays to go to the game, support and all that, how am I supposed to feel good going into this offseason knowing that plan A out the door? Now he's on the fly. Now we got to come up with a new DC and sell us on that, right? Because he didn't bring, fire Wilkes. They're still running the same stuff that didn't work. The brains of that defense is now gone.
Right. I would say this. There were a few people. So like Steve Wilkes gets fired. And then obviously the Jets defense has continued to be terrible. And there have been some people, well, I guess Wilkes wasn't the problem. And I'm like, whoa. Like, there's 3 games left. There was when Wilkes was fired, 3 games left in the season. It is what it is. You have to ride out you're changing the maestro back there, but the band is the same. So, we're dealing with a lot of the same shit. I don't know who thought Chris Harris was going to come in there and then immediately presto, booyah. Now it's this. I thought they did play with a little bit of verve in that first game, which was the Saints game. You played with a little bit of juice and then it all fell apart. So that was the only impact. So yeah, I don't know, man. But sometimes we have a plan. We call an audible, our tailgate, right? I said, hey, everybody, see you in D3, and they said, hey, Paul, D3 is in a crater in the Earth's surface. You sure you want us to go down in there? I'm like, well, folks. Lone wolf. We got to make it audible at the line of scrimmage here, or we're going to be in a hole. So we got to move on over here. So sometimes you got to call it audible at the line of scrimmage when the play ain't working. You got to make a quick adjustment at halftime. Okay, no worries, folks.
Mhm.
Let's do some of this action. So we're just getting a little bit of audibling happening right here. Just a little audibling right here. Yeah.
Dude. Only you could make a shit sandwich sound good, man. Like
That's it. There you go.
our tailgate, we were in control of that.
Yeah.
I trust your audible over their audible.
Thank you. Appreciate
Let
that.
Let me tell you something. Your consistency, how you show up and you deliver, man, like all day, every day, man. And with my super chat before, it's
Yes,
like, are you proud of the product that we put on this field? As a Jet fan, all of us, we, for the most part, we rock our stuff depending on how we feel, depending on where we live. I went to school in Rhode Island. At that time, that's when Brady was getting crazy. The Red Sox was doing their thing and all that. Like,
Yep.
it was tough. All my fraternity brothers, they're all mass holes. So it was
yeah.
a tough time there. That was 2002. Couple years there. I still wore it, man. It's our colors. It's how we was brought up. It's hard to cheer for a tank. It's hard. I've been saying, hey, I want wins and all this, and it was the Saints, man, where I'm like, what do we got, man? What do we got? All right, now we're just gonna lose and all that. And yeah, I get the, hey, we're the tanking, but the effort. If anything, man, if anything, you stand up on the sideline and you're ready. You stay ready to go into the game. And this past Sunday, they was all defeated, man. All of them. There was no fight in them. That's on the coach, man. I blame the coach. You gotta get in their faces. Yo, let's go to work. Let's get ready. Did we predict something like this, man? We knew we was gonna lose, but not like this, dude. This is like embarrassing. No effort. We're getting muscle off the ball. That Ramondre Stevenson touchdown,
Yeah.
disgusting. Did you come on? He's in motion, and then you got a defensive end who
Oh,
90,
that
like
was terrible. Eric
that
Watts.
mismatch,
Yeah.
dude. But then you look at Sherwood, he was on a blitz, and then he went straight to the center, and then went around. Like this Wilkes defense is so like 1990. Like yo, there's no kind of creativity. The tight end on the right side, he stayed back to block. So the tight end, I might have been Quincy. He froze. He's like, oh, what do I do now? The coverage is already blown. Easy. Like it's frustrating, man. It's hard to sell me at this point, man. And Jet fans, the AG truthers are gonna say AG truthing, but it's hard to sell me on the plan because the plan already blew up.
New plan, baby.
And that's my thing. If your best plan didn't work, how you gonna sell me on your next plan?
Oh, the next one's better for sure. Yeah.
I get picks.
Yeah.
BG first rounders, they're starters, right? First
Yeah, of
rounders are
course they are.
starters.
Sure.
Second
Yeah.
rounders, they could starters.
Starters or key contributors.
My
Yeah.
man. After that, it's like, all right, what we got?
Well,
You so and then with these draft picks,
yeah,
they're not going to be at the first year full potential.
probably not.
I mean, let's be real. We watched this game for a long time, man.
Sure, yeah.
They don't come in blank blazing, getting
Not
getting
normally.
crazy. Not
it's
normally.
a very
Yes.
like Armand, right? Armand Member is a really good right tackle right off the bat.
Great
So
pick,
sometimes
man.
you get
Great
lucky. So, or I don't want to say lucky, like they did a lot of scouting on that, but sometimes you
Mhm.
get fortunate. You don't know the transition. Sometimes someone can be really good, but it takes till year 2, 3, 4. Like Armand's really good immediately at a position at need. Oh, blessed be he, thank God. But no, that doesn't always happen. So you can't take those sort of things for granted, for sure.
And then the secondary, man.
Oh,
I'll run. I don't know how much people you got, man. Like,
sure, yeah.
I can't call in tomorrow. And tomorrow's New Year's Eve, man. We're
Of
gonna be
course.
crazy here.
Oh,
So,
I'm sure. Yeah, no,
I
of
got
course.
I got a little bit of time I want to tap in.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Dude, it's like that secondary, man. Like
Oh yeah.
you selling me on AG. Like he was the cornerback, man. We got no picks, man. Can we
I don't
all be
blame
on
him
the
for
same
that.
page as fans? Wait, you don't
Yeah.
blame him for no picks?
No, I don't. Unless AG saying, "Hey, move over, baby. I'm strapping
Yo,
up," and he
yo,
starts. Which, by the way, we could use him
man,
if
listen.
he's interested. But no, I don't. I don't blame AG for that. No, he's not on the field dropping the passes. It's on him. And then at this point of the season, we've got freaking. I'm trying to even remember Jasir Taylor. Who the hell is like the people that are out there? It could be people that the Jets just went parking lot. Yeah, you. Yeah, come on in. You're starting in a National Football League game right now. Go. So yeah, the secondary is in shambles. It's
But
for
he
sure.
did that last year with the Lions. His
What?
secondary.
Yeah, they caught a lot of
He had
picks.
people off the street, and they look decent. They didn't look like this, man.
But
Yes, other
AG
parts.
called
Yeah,
that
talking.
defense with Detroit. He's not calling this defense.
Hmm.
Steve Wilkes was, and now Chris Harris is. Not AG.
So my thing is technique when it comes to
Okay.
I played secondary and I
Okay.
coach it too.
All right.
It's the technique, man. All right, I get the scheme, but you
Mm-hmm.
still got to work on your feet work. The secondary, like cornerback, that's in my opinion one of the most like physical, toughest positions in all of sports, man.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta be quick. You got to turn. Sometimes you got to think a little bit ahead, like jumping on the ball,
Sure.
going ahead,
Mm-hmm.
misdirect. Like you got to. There's a whole bunch of stuff that factors into your angles, your brakes, acceleration. It's dude, it's so intricate, and that's something that AG could bring if he applies himself to these cornerbacks. And I'm not saying he's not,
Mm-hmm.
but it's not turning into production on the field, man. And what's happening? We're getting cooked, man. This is something that us fans we all got to be on the same page. Can we get at least one? Can we get at least one pick? Are we really gonna go through a season where we have zero interceptions and we're gonna say it's not AG's fault? He doesn't have
Well,
anything to do with this.
Well, I'm not. Well, okay. I think there is a difference between him having nothing to do with it and him having everything to do with it. A lot of people have kept saying, like, AG had 40 picks his Jets career, and these scrubs
Hmm.
out there don't have a single pick. I'm like, what is he supposed to do? Like, isn't that
Coach,
on the
man, that's
position
my thing.
coach? Yeah, the position coach, the defensive coordinator, it's their job. AG's supposed to be overseeing the entire operation. Now, there's a fair point to be made that, hey, AG, shouldn't you have stepped in when you saw the ship crashing into an iceberg? Been like, oh, Jesus, I need to step in here. Hey, Wilkes, move over. Hey, Chris Harris, move over. We need to start doing this. And that didn't seem to work, right? He had the boxing gloves out, was doing all the craziness in practice, trying to see what he could concoct to try to
Hmm.
make things happen. That had no impact whatsoever. So I don't completely absolve him and blame like, he had nothing to do with it, but I don't think he had everything to do with it. I don't think it's all on him. I do not. No.
But you're not saying all, so there's some on him.
Sure. Yeah, he's a head coach. I mean, when
That's
you're the
all.
head
That's
coach,
all right.
anything that happens,
I
you
thought you were
have
giving
to
him
have blame.
zero blame.
Oh, no.
Okay. All right, man. Well, I appreciate you, bringing me on, man.
Yeah.
Everything that you did, and I caught you too a little bit of the game because I was in the box watching the
Oh,
game.
nice. Yeah.
It's we got one more, right? And then it's
That's it.
the one more, and then it's the best time of the year, man. The off season. This is where we really get excited, man. Right?
That
This
is
is the
right. That
time.
is
We
that's
get
our
the
Super Bowl.
picks.
Yep.
These free agents that are like, oh yeah, look at what the Jets are doing. I want to be a part of this. Come on, who we kidding? Who we kidding? I've been saying this all year, man. If we don't play hard, if we're not playing good, if we ain't getting no wins, no one's gonna want to come here. So all that talk about, oh yeah, we're gonna get free. Who wants to come to this? The players here want to go. They don't want to stay. Jermaine Johnson, come on, man.
Yeah.
Jermaine, like, come on. Brees, our best weapon on offense. Yo, he's gone, man. After he scored that touchdown, there's no way, man. I want him. We got to tag him. Now it's going to cost more and all that. We got to keep him because to have nothing and to just like cross our fingers and be like, oh, we'll nail the draft. Oh, we'll get some free agents who it's not a guarantee, man.
Right.
I told you this last time. It's hope.
Mhm.
I can't go off of anything else because plan A, maybe plan B is already in shambles. And
Mhm.
now we're just maneuvering. Now we got to get bought in on DC, right?
Yep.
Hopefully we get the quarterback right, man. That's my
Amen.
only thing. Nine
That's my
games, 30 mil guaranteed, man. Like that's an epic fail, man. Epic
not
fail.
not ideal. No, no.
And I wanted him to make it, man. But
Me too.
I saw quickly like he ain't the guy, man. He had
Yep.
like the just couldn't pull the trigger, man. It's tough. It's tough. But hey, man, we got one more. Finish it off. We got the off season where we're all gonna be happy, man. We'll all be
We can
happy.
only we can only hope.
We'll figure it out, right, my guy?
That's
And
it.
keeps Pop on, man. Stop with the Pop slander, man.
Yeah, come on, man. No pop
Yo,
slander out there. Yeah,
he
100.
can't agree with everything, and plus he's not a, I guess he'll root for the Jets at times or whatever, but he's a
Yeah, sure.
Cowboys fan, so just think
Yeah,
about that
yeah,
perspective, man. He adds a lot to this show, man.
yeah.
We need a OG here.
Hundred
Thanks
percent.
again, man. Happy New Year to you, Coffee
Yes.
Club members. Yo, have a good one. Be safe, y'all.
There he is, Chef, joining us here on the program, Chef Kevin Gilbert. Thank you, Chef. Hey, look at this, Uncle Tio. Hey, all right, Uncle Tio with that Boy Green Coffee Club membership. Seventh raffle ticket. Good to see you in the chat, Uncle Tio. Thank you very much. That membership went to. Let me take a quick gander here in the comment section of where that membership went to. Let's see if YouTube will agree with us here and show us some hoopla. I see we also have a super chat. I'll get to that here in just a moment. Let me see. Is okay. We're gonna have to hit the refresh button. We have a lot of callers. We'll get to you guys too. I promise. We also have a. I just received a text. We're gonna have a special guest on the show today. So if you're a Boy Green Coffee Club member, you're gonna get early access to a special interview with an insider that we will be doing. That will be a pre-recorded interview. We'll be doing that in a little bit, folks. So in a couple hours. For Boy Green Coffee Club members, you will have access to that interview before anyone else. That membership, by the way, went to Ron Weiss. Good to see you, Ron. Welcome back to the Boy Green Coffee Club, buddy boy. Nice. All right, let me go to the super chats coming through here. We'll start off with Uncle Tio's. He gave a member shout out here. Cheer for my daughters, Riley Leonard. Then we'll hop over to the phone lines after these super chats.
Wow.
Member for 11 months. Sell the team, Uncle Tio says. Sell the team. I don't know if that happens, Uncle Tio, but I understand. I'm the Woody Johnson hate in the audience. Totally understand. Super chat here. Lou B, Super Jets fan, baby.
Wow.
Nothing was accomplished this year. We actually went in reverse. AG had the confidence of the team, and he lost it all. Yes, when they won 3 of 5, I sort of felt a warm, tingly feeling inside, like, ooh, oh, hey, folks, look at them fighting, despite the fact they have nothing to fight for. They shouldn't be fighting, but they are. Like, huh? And then they've rolled over and died. So that's certainly been deflating, Luby. There's no question about it. That's a hard thing to rally around. No question. All right, Luby, you're up to 10 raffle tickets so far this month. Appreciate you, Luby. Thanks for all the support this month. That helps put food on the table for the fam. So thank you, everybody in the audience. Very nice. Okay. Ooh, okay, got the sell the team. All right, saw that, Uncle Tio. Thank you very much. Another membership. Our number one Austrian Jet fan, baby. Keep them coming. Let's go. Wonderful. Our number one Austrian Jet fan, that's now 53 raffle tickets for our number one Austrian Jet fan for this month's raffle. Beautiful. Second place only to our guy, Johnny Boy, who's gotten a lot of donated raffle tickets so far this month. Salute to Johnny Boy, and hopefully continues to recover there at home. We love you, Johnny, out in the audience. That is for certain. Absolutely. More super chats coming through. We have Mac Attack, Mahar Khalil getting involved. Hey now, let's go.
Wow.
Pop is great. Put that on a t-shirt, folks. Pop is great. Wow, some pop love. Okay. People fighting the good fight for old Pop. Huh? Okay. There you go. There you go. All right, some pop love. We're having pop super chats back and forth. Pop sucks. Pop's great. It's like a John Cena wrestling match. Cena sucks. Let's go, Cena. What is going on here? All right. Super chat shout out here from Jets Worldwide, wide.
Wow.
Who fills more seats? By the way, thank you for being a member for 13 months. Who fills more seats, AG or a new offensive head coach? Well, who's the new offensive head coach? I don't think a mystery man offensive head coach fills more seats than AG. I do not. I don't even know who that is. Who is that person? I'm not sure. So yeah, I'm gonna no for on that one. No. All right, let's go back to the phone lines. Up next, it's Philly Doodles.
What's going on, gentlemen? Oh,
What's up, pal?
it's good to see you, BG. How you doing?
Yeah, thank you. Yes, gentlemen, and you as well, gentlemen.
Yeah.
Yes, gentlemen.
We'll say gentlemen for Pop's sake, since
Yeah,
we're
there you
hating on
go.
Pop for a reason.
Yeah, apparently. Yeah, kick them while he's down. Yeah.
Shout out, Chef, Mr. Gilbert. I know it's bleak times, and yes, if you side some bit with Glenn, you could be called a Glenn truther.
Yes.
That's like a realistic thing right now. I mean, listen, I would say the biggest indictment has been his take with the media. We've all seen it, and just a lot of comments he's made. I mean, for somebody who does say that they've followed closely to other coaches and how they spoke. I mean, Parcells and the way he handled everything. I can't remember the first season he walked into, how many wins they had, but I don't think it was 3 wins, right? It wasn't that type of season.
Who for AG?
For Parcells.
Oh, Parcells. They were 1-15.
They were 1-15.
Yeah, so in 1996, Rich Coach went 1-15. He was fired, obviously, after that season. Parcells takes over with the number 1 overall pick that they end up using on Keyshawn in 97. So,
how many wins they have that season?
The next year, I believe they went 9-7. Let me make sure I have that correct. So he had an immediate turnaround after that 1-15 year. Let's see. Let me make sure I have that right first before we move on here. So in 96, we went 1-15. Yeah, 9-7. So it's the 3 years were Parcells. They went 9-7, 12-4, 8-8 in his 3 years. So that was immediately after, obviously, the 1-15 year. Yes.
So that that lays the path right there. Like, you gotta, at some point, you have to, no matter who you think you are, you have to realize we are going to judge you for what you're doing, right? You have to. It's just part of life. So, especially in the position you're in. So, knowing that, being that, he probably should have dialed himself back. And again, this is why, to me, Jaime, whatever his name is, being such an influence, they kept saying, oh, Jaime's great, and Jaime this, Jaime that. He's been with the Jets organization for many years. He's also been there for all these terrible moments where he probably could have, grabbed a coat and pulled back a coach and say, hey, bro, you know what I mean?
Well, here's the thing. So I think this is one of the most, and again, people can agree or disagree with this. I think one of the most misinterpreted, whether AG believes it was or the media believes it was, one of the most misinterpreted quotes. I'm not saying it's misinterpreted. I'm saying one of the two sides believe it is or isn't. Is AG in the offseason says we are here basically to win now. And everyone else in the universe seemed to perceive that as, holy shit, all right, we're not just going to roll over and die. We're going to win. And then the Jets been shitty this year. And they've gone back to AG said, hey, buddy, you said you're going to win now. I've heard Jake Asman talk about it. I've heard others talk about it. AG's response every time that's been brought up since the offseason said, what was I supposed to say? We're here to lose now? Like, of course, every coach's job is to win now. So he believed when he answered that question from the media during the offseason that he was saying what any other coach would say. Of course, we're here to win. What other fucking reason am I here for? That's what he believes he answered. Everyone else in the universe, apparently, media, fans, everybody, thinks that AG misled us by saying, I'm not saying I am. I'm sort of like in the middle here because I hear what AG said, but no one else apparently heard what he meant. But now it's turned into this ginormous thing where people believe that AG lied about it. But AG said, it's coach speak. Of course we're here to win. Like this week, you say, hey, coach, what are your chance of beating the Buffalo Bills? Well, 100%. We're beating the Buffalo Bills. What the fuck are you talking about? So that's where I think that one of the biggest pull thing is that a lot of people are angry about AG is that comment from the offseason and how it's carried over for weeks.
Yeah, I would probably agree that, you know what I mean? Again, coach speak, we're here to win. But there's a certain way to even portray that, right? Like, I think that just wasn't I think the indictment in him is his words. In the end, that's what people are going to hold against him,
Sure.
especially the way he
Right.
came out about it with the media. So to me, it's like, all right, so you came from a coach who said we're here to bite people's kneecaps. He didn't say, "Hey, bro, we're here to win. We're built for the bullshit." No, he said we're gonna fight. We're gonna fight every down. We're gonna figure this shit out. So that's two different. To me, that's two different sides of that spectrum. You know what I mean? He could have. He didn't have to say what he said. You know what I mean? And I
You're
think
right.
the
He could have
indictment.
said it differently. 100%.
Yeah, and the indictment now beginning on him is the locker room and him making a comment and walking it back. And then his arch enemy now, Rich Domini, well, you can't put that toothpaste back in that tube, can you? Like, dude, they're going to drop all the innuendos. So that report, though, that everybody's talking about where he could be on the hot seat, which is like, fair enough, obviously. That's coming from my ex-Miami's coverage reporter. Let's start right there. So that's a Dolphins guy. Any
Who is
moment
that?
he's going to take Armando Saguero.
Oh, yes,
Saguero?
yes, yes, yes,
Yeah.
yeah, yes, yes.
Yeah,
And great pronunciation there. Very nice.
yeah, Armando Saguero. Like, dude, you need to probably take that with the largest grain of Carolina rice. You know what I mean? Carolina rice, like a big old
Yes.
grain, some red rice, whatever type of rice you want to cook. Some basmati, you want to get
Ah,
Indian.
sure.
And,
Jasmine.
you know what I mean?
Okay. Yeah.
Let's dial that back a tiny bit where it's coming from. I mean, I believe, in my opinion, no matter what, they're going to give him his second year.
Yep.
And now the question is, we like to be proactive. Finally,
Mhm.
that's true. But in this situation, when we gave a rookie head coach a job, more than likely, you're probably at a split of 80-20 where he's going to return. It would have to be a Gerard Mayo type situation where you're saying an ex-Patriot, so an ex-Jet who's had tenure as a player who's won, well, let's just dial that back. That's the whole problem with the Jets. We've never had an established winning culture in how many years? Bringing Vrabel saying, "Hey, I'm better. I've already done this before, and I've won." Besides Gerard Mayo as well, you can walk that guy into the building. There's nobody to walk into the building that has that repertoire. But my thing is, no matter what, if you're going to replace him, if we think we're going to, then you have to do a dynamic shift. And even if you don't replace him, if they draft a quarterback, people, we've already seen what happens a year later when you draft the right quarterback anyway. So
Mhm.
even when the wrong regime can do it. So it is what it is.
Mhm.
We'll take it for what it is. I think, honestly, the best seat they can be in is not having to trade up to the number one. So there's even more criticism. There's even more ridicule. There's even more problems. If we just sit at 3 and a quarterback falls to us, Moore or Mendoza, screw it. To me, that's probably your best option. Pick at 18 or 17 or 15 or 16 another player. I'd prefer a linebacker. If you can get a wide receiver at round 2, do it. If not, take it at 1, take the linebacker 2. Yeah, it would be better that it happens that way with this regime or any regime at this point. Because then
Does HE get credit? So let's say they're at 3 right now. Let's say they stay at 3 in this mythical world. Let's say a quarterback falls to him, right? Fernando goes number 1, Dante Moore falls in the lap, or vice versa. Doesn't matter. Dante Moore goes number 1, Fernando falls to him. Does HE get credit for getting that quarterback, or wow, he just stood there at 3 and it just fell into his lap? Yeah, way to go, AG. And then those people that are criticizing AG are like, yeah, nice job, buddy. Just fell to you. You didn't do anything. You didn't trade up. You didn't identify anybody. You didn't do nothing. It just fell in your lap. You got lucky.
I think it's half and half. So it's probably it looks 80 probably. Looks 75-25 Moogie over at Glenn. But then at the same rate, we know that Glenn has been a part of most of probably everything, according to, insiders and everything. So really that's 50-50 then. So you do have to credit him a tiny bit, but or some bit. But to me at that point, I mean, saying that like everyone said, saying that Fields was, them trying to reclaim Fields a reclamation product, but then changing the product was it's kind of like you have a recipe that is like it tastes all right, right? You're like, oh yeah, that works on the menu, and you're like, we're gonna spice it up, and you changed it for no reason, and nobody likes it, and it came out like shit. So then usually you might have to scrap that whole thing off your menu. So that's what's about to happen to the Jets. And that's like an actual terrible outcome that occurred. But again, they just did it, the regime before with Aaron Rodgers, where they did what they did. They took a shot, and that soured over the first season when he got hurt in 4 plays. So to me, if you're Glenn, you're seeing what just happened. You're like, are you kidding me? You're going to cry over this? You know what I mean? I think that's where that would come from. And not to saying that it's not to saying it's not detrimental. Obviously, this could become detrimental. But
To me, I don't give a if we trade up to 1 and get the guy, God bless. 3, we stumble into it at 18, 17, 16, somehow, some weird way. We take some whatever quarterback and it just immediately works. I don't give a shit how it happens. Just do it. And then we can all play the blame game. Oh, who's more responsible? Is it this guy or this guy? I don't give a shit who's responsible. Give us a gosh darn quarterback for the love of everything that's holy. That's what I want.
and the next thing that will turn everything around if we don't draft. Does everybody want to see them try to do a reclamation product, which is not even a real reclamation, giving Malik Willis a chance? I don't think we would say it's good. We would say it's obviously terrible, right? Or there's going to be the pundits in the draft if we don't even select one. Well, that's better. They saved it for the better crop coming out, right? So there's so many different bad angles and great angles to look at this. It's kind of just let it ride. You know what I mean? At this point now, I'm just going to let it ride. I've probably said what I said in my opinions. I should probably dial it back, let other people do their thing in the chats and everything, because you know what I mean. I'll take it as it comes, whatever's going to happen at this point. But as long as it's sound logic in the draft, I think it's very important. I mean, if you got to spend money as well, it's got to be wise. I mean, 14 million to tag Brees now, who we already had that thought he felt a little half in, half out during the season. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you got to tag him, that's brutal. You better not tag AVT, and they better not give him no 20 mil, which they think he could be hitting an open market for, which is absurd.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's too many. I don't know. We'll just let dominoes fall, but I don't know, man. We're in for a bumpy ride with everything in the family. And yes, sir. Have a good one, Beef.
There he is, Philly Doodles, joining us here on the program. We have 500 people in the room. Like the video, hit subscribe. Some good thoughts. We have a lot of people trying to call into the program. Let's keep it rolling. Hey, look, this guy found the StreamYard link. Neil Senior's here.
How are you? I had to find it on my phone. I'm on my cell phone. For some reason, my laptop, my desktop doesn't have that link on the top. It only is on my cell phone. Not a problem. You know, Chef Kevin made a lot of good points. And, you know, this is a guy that goes to the games. I go to a lot of games.
Mm-hmm.
Certainly, the only thing left that Aaron Glenn could really hang his hat on is the guys didn't quit on him. And that basically has happened now. Okay. Obviously, the guys quit on him.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody wants to, you know, everybody's kind of thinking about their vacations and where they're going after the season ends.
Mm-hmm.
And when somebody has a bad season, that's one thing. But when historic things happen, it's another. And I went through the Kotite season, and it was bad. Okay. I was 34 years old. Probably. How old are you, Paul?
I'm 32. I turned 33 in a couple of months.
So take the misery that you're feeling right now, multiply it by about 6. And that's where I was when I was 34. And I don't know what the hell I'm still doing here rooting for this team. But the reality is, when you have, and that year, by the way, I did the numbers. We had 175 point differential after 16 games at 1-15.
Right.
And right now we have 176 point differential after 6 games. So it's worse than the Kotite year.
Wow.
Now, what even makes it even worse than that is that these last 4 games, dude, we're about to have a 200 point differential. We are going to have 5 games to end the season with the worst point differential in the history of the NFL.
Not great.
What?
Not great.
Oh, no. Oh, I think that's wonderful. And we are going to basically end the season with probably no interceptions, unless, you know, even Trubinsky might not throw when he came in. He's going to probably play Sunday. That's why we're only a 7-point underdog. And they're probably going to play their second teamers. If Josh Allen and they needed this game really bad, we'd probably be a 17-point underdog to the Bills. And I'd still bet the Bills with 17 points. But the reality is this. Look, when they took Parcells, And you could go to the Mike Del Parcells things on YouTube, and he talked about how shitty they are. He's like, this team is really bad. He goes, I see the habits you guys have, and you guys stink, and this and that. And he willed that team back to 9 wins with really, not a much, probably as bad a roster, probably worse than what we have now, because Keyshawn was really the only star on the team at the time. But you got to, the fix is is this. This is just my 2 cents. Okay,
Sure. Okay.
we definitely. There's no way you could give Aaron Glenn another year. There's just no way. There's just no way you could go in, because he's going to be 1-5 next year with a new quarterback. He's gonna be cut halfway through the season. Quarterback, the draft is not going to save him. The draft is a lottery ticket, guys. There's no guarantee that Mendoza will trade up or not. There's 3 quarterbacks in this draft. You got Mendoza, you got Simpson, you got Moore. I don't know if Moore's coming out. I don't know. Is Simpson definitely coming out or not?
No, that's not definite. No.
Okay. So the reality is this. If neither of those 2 come out, you got to take that. Then you got to go with your draft the way it is. And really, to win next year, you have to look at 2 things. A, you have to get a competent coach that's a CEO with an established record.
Mm-hmm.
At this point, what do you have? You have McCarthy, who won a Super Bowl, who did well with Dallas. He's offensive minded. He's a developer of quarterbacks. He's probably going to take a competent staff on board with him, because our staff up and down is garbage. Okay.
Yeah.
The only guy I'd keep is Banjo, and Banjo does not have to go. I mean, we had what's his name? Who was our special teams? The guys.
Westy?
Westy lasted three coaches with the Jets.
Yeah.
So we could keep Banjo, okay? I'm not excited about Angstrom. It's an incomplete, okay? The
Yeah,
offense is atrocious. There's no creativity on offense. The defense, Paul, if anybody has 2 eyes in their head and thinks that this team has any kind of get up and go. I watched the Falcons last night.
Yes.
Ulbrich had these guys fired up, okay? They intercepted. They had 3 interceptions yesterday.
Very nice.
3. We don't have one the entire season. I mean, come on. For anybody that's good at truther, how could you be an Aaron Glenn truther? That's worse than being a Zach Wilson truther. I mean, it has to be the same people. And Zach Wilson, we both know, has never seen the field after he left the Jets. And Kyle, the guy Ewers, was a guy that we should have taken last year. At least we'd have something to look at. Or, we had a chance to take 2 quarterbacks at the end of the draft, and we took 2 guys that are not playing on our team right now. So that is an indictment on Muji and Glenn for not taking anything in the draft resembling a quarterback. The other indictment is taking Fields, not giving him competition, and trying and turn him into a pocket passer, which he's not.
Didn't work.
Then we didn't fill the quarterback room up with anything. We took 9 months to put Brady Cook on the field, and he's not an NFL quarterback. The guy looks atrocious. So I don't trust these guys to take a quarterback. Anybody could pick a quarterback. It's all, look, the Raiders could pick Mendoza, and he could turn into the guy that the Raiders took at number 1 last time.
Jamarcus Russell.
Look, you could have the next Jamarcus Russell. We don't know what it's going to be. And we still don't know who the best quarterback is, because we're not even done with the playoffs yet.
Right.
Okay? So
Let's
let's
just wait.
forget about that.
Mm-hmm.
End of this game, Woody Johnson has to identify a coach. It's got to be McCarthy, Stefanski. I'd love to get Gruden. It's got to be an offensive-minded coach. We have to put the right staff in place and clean house. It sounds horrible, but the reality is every team that changed coaches last year has coaches that haven't been in the playoffs. I mean, it's not like any of the rookie coaches are doing poorly. They're all doing great. Everyone. Think about it, Paul. Go through the coaches that are new.
Yeah, even
Everyone. Go
yeah,
ahead.
so like Kellen Moore is doing well right now. They've won a few games after being terrible for the first half of the year, so Kellen Moore looks okay. Obviously, Ben Johnson's great. Liam Cohen's great. Mike Vrabel's great. Who else am I missing? There's got to be somebody else.
How about the Seattle coach?
Oh, well, it's not his first year. He was here last
Oh,
year.
all right. He was here last year,
Brian
but you know.
Schottenheimer. Brian Schottenheimer. I guess he was sort of mediocre. Pete Carroll was awful, obviously. So Pete Carroll was terrible, and Aaron Glenn's terrible. So yeah, I guess Carroll and Glenn have been awful, and then Schottenheimer was halfway decent, I guess. So yeah.
Okay, so I think we're still missing one there. But the reality is you could turn it around with a coach, and that's the first step we have to make. There's no way we could go in with what we have right now and expect anything but another big losing season. And then we're going to set ourselves back because now we have to bring in a whole new regime at the end of next year, fire Glenn. Hopefully Woody learned his lesson. I mean, the reality is we should have left Salah at the door and taken Vrabel, and we made that mistake. It was a big mistake because Vrabel was available. And if anybody tells me, oh, well, if the coach is still available, that means he's no good. That's not true. I mean, the bottom line is there's good coaches that are available. Vrabel was available. Nobody hired him 2 years ago, right, Paul?
That's correct.
Look what he's doing now. So, coach is number one. Now we have to talk about the bridge. There's a couple of candidates. We don't know who the bridge is going to be. One other thing, by the way, whoever loses this Pittsburgh game Sunday, they're saying Tomlin's got if he loses this game, and his Harbaugh might be available. We're not getting either of them because either of those two guys are going to be giant coaches. Yeah. As much as we hate to say it, if I'm, I certainly want to park my hat on a Giants or another team that needs a coach before we go to the Jets. Mm-hmm. But you have to have a new coach in there because we're not going to attract any free agents with Glenn. I listened to a guy that was a Detroit podcaster. Did you catch that on Jake? Did you check out this guy? He was on Jake's show a while back. Mm-mm. He said Aaron Glenn is horrible. This was the beginning of the season.
Oh, Jesus.
Aaron Glenn is horrible. He's obnoxious. Nobody likes him. Detroit couldn't be happier to get rid of him. He's going to be. This was the beginning of the season. This guy was saying this. And boy, was he right.
Yeah,
because, so. And one thing I have to mention.
Yes, sir.
When Rex Ryan came here, he had a Baltimore Raven reputation on defense that was great.
He did.
And what happened when he came here? Didn't players come with him?
Yeah, Bart Scott. Who else am I missing? There's someone in the secondary that's escaping.
The safety.
Yeah.
And he got a defensive lineman that came with him. Guys wanted to come play with him. Nobody is coming to play with Aaron Glenn that is from Detroit. Nobody gave a shit about Aaron Glenn. So let's forget about Aaron Glenn now, and let's pray to the gods that we move on from this coaching staff because it can't happen again. It's just too bad. I understand. Don't tank me to bullshit with the tank and all this other crap. He's playing and doing his best to win games. And I would not be surprised if Woody Johnson has already told him, listen, you got this game. You can't go 0-6 in your division and get killed by every team in your division by 2 or 3 scores. It just doesn't, it's not going to result in anything better following it up. So from that perspective, and him talking about building a foundation, we had a foundation, Paul. We had 8 of the 11 starters from last year coming back. Did we not?
We did. Yeah.
Okay. So for our defense to go from, we weren't the top defense last year, but we certainly were, 18th, 20th, whatever the case was. And that was a horrible year, the worst defensive year we had in 4 years. And it was still 20. This team's defense is not even capable of stopping an average college team. Any team in that playoff would beat us right now, pound for pound. And I have no doubt in my mind about that. So with that said, we got Stefanski. We have possibly one of the two, the Raven coach or the Steeler coach. We have Gruden. There'll be a coach out there that we could take that could make a big difference. Bridge-wise, I mean, I talked about Kyler Murray and everybody laughed me off. Now Dylan Terraman loves him. There's a couple guys that like him. I wouldn't just say him. I'd say him and Malik Willis. Why can't we take two quarterbacks to start the year and draft a rookie? Is that a bad idea?
No.
I mean, Malik Willis is not going to be a $30 million quarterback. He's not going to get as much as Justin Fields. And Kyler Murray, if we took his contract, they would give us a second-round pick for that. That's the news I'm hearing. Kyler Murray, take his contract, and we'll give you a second-round pick. The bottom line is they're going to let him go. Okay. And, you know, if you want to take a shot with a quarterback, at least he's somebody that played well. And who was the coach that he had when he won that's on the hot seat right now?
Who?
When he was with the Cardinals, he went to the playoffs with the coach that's supposedly getting fired.
Cliff Kingsbury you're talking about?
Kingsbury. Why don't we have a reunion with Kingsbury and Kyler Murray? You know, that they went to the playoffs, that combination, when he was young, you know, not too many years ago.
Sure.
But like I said, Bridge, we used the draft to get a safety and a linebacker, not premium positions. Use your free agency for an edge. You use your free agency for a linebacker, all right? Get a good linebacker that's solid, that could play alongside of Sherwood. And that's my take. Take it or leave it. Great to talk to you guys, but please do not defend Aaron Rodgers. And Pops got on. I heard your father after the game. What did he say, Paul?
I don't know. He said a lot of stuff.
He said, get rid of the coach.
Yeah. Oh, Aaron Glenn. Yeah, right. Yeah.
He said, get rid of Aaron Glenn. And he said Kyler Murray. I think he mentioned get Kyler Murray. I think your father mentioned.
He did. Yeah.
Kyler Murray, look, he's not going to be expensive if he gets cut. He's going to be on a prove-it deal. Malik Willis, take him too. We have to have two veterans. And then we bring in, because we're not going to get Mendoza. I mean, probably not. And he's the most seasoned college kid, right?
Yeah.
So if we don't get him and we go with a Simpson or a Moore, they got to sit. They're not going to come play right away for us. So let them sit for a year or 9 or 10 games, and let's bring in two competent bridge quarterbacks. Doesn't just necessarily have to be Kyler and Willis. Those two guys at least will fit a scheme that are similar, right? If you're going to go with the running scheme and deal with a running quarterback with an RPO, those two guys are very similar in the way they play. Hunley's another guy that has that type of running RPO type style. And then bring in a Simpson or a Moore, and let's go, baby. Happy New Year to the chat. Coffee Club guys. Got to get better, buddy. Got to get better.
We got to get better. I appreciate that, Neil. Happy holidays, everybody, and this one's for Neil. Come on now. Here it is. By the way, give Neil a special shout out. We have 2 days left in our raffle, and he and Peter Castro are both tied with 20 raffle tickets gifted. That happened earlier this month, so shout out to Neil Sr. and Peter Castro. Thank you guys so much for supporting the Boy Green Coffee Club. Up next on the choo-choo train is Easy. Easy? Easy? No easy. Oh. Nope. Yep. I guess that's the old snooze button. Sorry, Easy. Didn't work. All right. Up next, let's go with MJ.
Hey, good morning, Paul.
Good morning.
You know, doing some thinking, Neil had some really good points, some of the points that I was going to bring up, but I do have one disagreement. You talked about Schottenheimer being okay or being all not the best. He had a horrific defense. This defense was historically bad. I mean, and with Eberflus and how he got ousted in Chicago and how, and he had no say. Jerry Jones hired him right at the time he hired Schottenheimer.
Okay, that's what I was going to ask. I couldn't remember if that was Schotty's call to hire Eberflus or Eberflus was. Okay, interesting.
No,
That's
it
good to
was
know.
it was pretty much Jerry Jones because they had known him from previous,
Right.
tenure. He was coaching there, and they thought he would be a good fit. And Schottenheimer bought off on it, so you can blame him for buying off on it. But I mean, what are you going to do? Tell him, oh no, I'm not going to take a head coach because
Fair
I don't
enough.
like your coordinator. But I mean, they have a really good offense, and I don't think people are giving the credit in 2023 when
Mm-hmm.
the Cowboys had a really good, after the fifth or sixth game when they just went on to just have tremendous offensive success
Mm-hmm.
and then consequently defense success. It was Schottenheimer. I mean, McCarthy was given credit, but it was really some of the things that Schottenheimer did with the receivers and with Dak specifically that really changed that season. Now, of course, they cratered and got destroyed in the playoffs by Green Bay, but that offensive, and I think that was one of the reasons, and it was a smart reason to retain him because you keep the offense, but they didn't. But I mean, if the Cowboys just had an average defense, they'd be in the playoffs. They had a horrific defense. Matter of fact, to the point, and it brings to my point about the Jets, is that
Okay.
when you were historically bad, like, I mean, setting records, with point differential. I mean, in the history of NFL, think of the bad teams, the 76 Buccaneers, the
Sure.
Detroit Lions who didn't win a game.
2008.
And
Yeah.
you're
The
worse than
Browns.
that.
2016. 0-16. Yeah.
I
That's
mean,
impressive.
and I mean and then Jake Osman had his press conference. Somebody asked him about what can you remember where you had the style of play that you really
Oh, I saw
liked,
that clip. Yes. Yeah.
and he just does not sound intelligent, Paul.
Yeah,
I
that was a
mean,
stupid answer,
and
right? I
I
don't know why
mean,
AG said that. That was stupid. He
and
could
I'm
have pointed out a
surprised.
lot of other examples, but he didn't. So he pointed out the random Jaguars blowout loss where there was a fleeting moment where he saw something he liked. There's been other examples this year. He was an idiot. Aaron Glenn shouldn't have said that. I don't know why he did. I can't defend that.
Oh
But
my God. Some of the things he said, it really makes you wonder about his intelligence. And I'm not saying that you have to be a genius to be a coach, but you have to have a modicum of some kind of intelligence when you're speaking, especially publicly. I mean,
yeah,
think about the players. What are they thinking when he says this stuff? I don't know if they watch his press conferences, but I'm sure somehow that stuff gets back. And it really erodes his credibility if you think about that. And then on top of that, when they said that Neil made some good points about no one from Detroit coming over to want to play with him, people not liking him, you know, and then really, what does he do? Because I mean, think about any kind of coach that is leaning toward offense or defense. When they're a head coach, they have some input, they have some impetus in what's happening on that side of the field. And now you're telling me that he's like a CEO? I mean, what made him get this position? And I think that he's very well respected in the NFL circles. I mean, people, like Parcells and, Coach for Denver and all these people that are, has pretty close relationships with, because he's been there for a while. I mean, he's been in the NFL for a long time. And like, if you compare him to Schottenheimer, for instance, Schottenheimer's been a coach for a long, long time. But when you see him in press conferences, oh my God, he's better than McCarthy, and McCarthy wasn't great. But this guy is so polished. He's not. He calls up the plays, and the Cowboys had a top 3 offense in yards and in points. And like I said, if they had a better defense, they would be in the playoffs.
I got one thing to say.
yeah.
Excuse
Welcome
me.
in, Easy. You get your
Yeah,
signal in.
Paulie
Yes.
invited me onto the show. I got one thing to say.
Okay.
If you're in a car with someone
All right.
and they're driving along
Okay.
and they pass out, are you not supposed to grab the wheel and straighten the thing out? This is what I'm talking about.
As opposed to everyone in the car dies? Yeah, I guess
right.
so.
AG, when he saw the car was careening towards a bridge, he didn't grab the wheel and take control of it. He just let it happen.
He had faith in
And
this
I
guy.
think-
He was going to wake up.
No, sure.
He
The-
just
the
didn't
fact
grab the
is-
wheel, unfortunately.
The fact is, I really genuinely believe he lost the team. They're not going to say it publicly because they're not going to humiliate their coach.
Okay.
But I guarantee you, you get any of these guys on the record and they ask, do you want to come back to this or would you rather start fresh? I bet you out of the 53 players, probably 40 of them would say they want a fresh start.
40 of them? Oh my. That's
And I believe that means either get me the fuck out of here or get him the fuck out of here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry. I mean, is that a good analogy? He saw that the car was careening somewhere and he didn't take control of it. He just let it careen. And then instead of taking control of the defense, he brings this kid in. Well, he's not a kid. I mean, he's another grown man. The Chris
Harris. Chris Harris. Yeah, it's like 42.
And this is nothing against Chris Harris. What did they expect Chris to do?
I don't know.
Was he supposed to take this? I mean, he's driving a car with 2 flat tires, all these injuries and everything, and he doesn't really know the scheme. The only one who really knew how to run that scheme was Steve Wilkes.
Is the flat tires the 2 in the front or the 2 in the back, or is it 1 in the front, 1 in the back? What's the flat?
One on each side. Who gives a shit? The car was out of control.
All right.
And I'm equating it to a guy driving the car and he passes out at the wheel.
Folks, by the way, we have some breaking news.
Up.
Breaking news here. Let's pour one out. Our first-round draft choice, our second first-round pick this year, is thanks to the Colts. The Colts are making a quarterback change. Old man Phillip Rivers has been benched. They're going to Riley Leonard now, Notre Dame Golden Domer in Week 18. He will control our fate of where that pick is. It could rise as high as 15 or it could stay as low as 18. So we'll keep an eye on that.
I'm predicting 16, 17.
Yeah. So, okay, either way.
They're not going to win. But what I'm saying is, if you have somebody driving the car and they pass out at the wheel, you don't rah, hey buddy, wake up. No, you grab the wheel.
Right.
Glenn didn't grab the wheel. I think
he
didn't take control. I think he didn't take control because if things still went bad and he was in control, it was going to make him look bad.
Exactly.
I think he didn't take control out of fear.
But isn't there a phrase, let Jesus take the wheel? Huh?
Now you're being a fucking truther again. I'm going to slap you. Your father would slap you. Your father would hit you so hard. No.
But you know what, though?
Listen. If you say this in front of your father, he'll hit you so hard, your next kid will be born dizzy.
Wow. Well, I don't plan on having any more children, so thank God for that, I guess. But go ahead.
My God, kill it! Let it go back. I mean, I'll stay on, but go. Let.
No.
Who's on? Who am I on with?
MJ. But the thing is that could he do that? I don't know if he could take the wheel because I really don't know. I mean, you have to look at his defenses and you have to look at the defenses in Detroit. He was awful. He was an awful coordinator. He had one decent year, and of course they blamed it on injuries, but he wasn't that special. And, and like you said, people didn't like him. So you have to wonder. And then if he did that, then he's really putting his neck out for being possibly fired. So he did the smart thing, try to get someone else. And so he can blame someone else.
Scapegoat.
And then exactly. And then doing this trade stuff really gave him an out too, because think about if they still had Williams and they still, had Gardner and they were still really bad. See, now he has to stay because now he did these, did the draft and got all these picks. So now he has to, so it gives him that kind of extra, thing to stay, which you have to wonder the strategy of that.
I'll tell you one thing. At this point, Woody Johnson could hire a head coach. Anybody he wants. He could hire anyone he wants right now, right away, without multiple interviews, even though there's a Rooney rule, because you got to admit, he is probably one of the most proactive in hiring minority coaches. I mean, he hired Bowles, he hired Bowles, Saleh, the first Muslim coach in the NFL, and then Glenn. So if they even gave him a cross-eyed look, he could say, "Hey, look at all these guys I hired."
I don't think that's how that works. Right. I don't think you get a grandfather.
Well, they say
I've done this
you're required to. They say you're required to interview one minority coach, but I'm saying Woody Johnson could get a mulligan on that.
Minority coaches,
but I think Woody Mulligan would get. Woody Johnson would get a mulligan on
if they fire
because
Glenn,
he's already hired all these other guys.
Yeah,
He
but
should at this
that
point
doesn't.
say, "Look, I want to grab the guy that I think is going to help my team best. You want to find me? Find me. But I have evidence that I've always given these guys a chance. I always hire young guys. I
Okay.
always give people a chance. Now I just want to grab this guy while the getting's good. Don't give me any of your shit."
But
So he
worthy
legitimately
breaking the rules
could
for?
hire McCarthy if he wanted to right now, or he could
Is that
hire
the guy?
Gruden right now if he want, because he's
Mhm.
given opportunities to multiple people. You could even say he's given opportunities to multiple people that might not have even been 100% qualified, not because of race, but because they've never been head coaches before. That's my point. He has given many people opportunities throughout his ownership, and you got to give a guy credit for that. You have to.
Yeah.
But you
Mhm.
got to ask yourself one thing. I saw this in the blogs.
Okay.
Would Woody Johnson have made someone in Johnson and Johnson a senior vice president with no experience in his pharmaceutical business? Would he have done that to that? Or maybe he just doesn't think, well, it's just football, it's just
Mm.
football.
Easy,
Yeah.
buddy.
Who's
I
that?
think you injured your
Oh,
head
Phil?
on that car accident you were speaking about in 1982, because some of the things you say take me to a point where I'm like, does he realize America has evolved? I mean, we've gone a few decades since.
Well, America evolved and then it devolved in the past 11 months.
Partially, but what I'm saying is, I don't think all that even has to be a reason or factor for any of that stuff.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying that no one could ever say anything to Woody if he just went out right away
They could.
and hired a coach
Yeah.
Your
without
history doesn't
doing the
again,
Mooney thing.
Your past history doesn't
That's all I'm
bypass the
saying.
rules.
I
I know,
think
but
what-
it
Well,
doesn't.
but I'm just saying, if I was the coach, I'd say, look, I don't want to miss out. If I get this guy in the building and he's my first interview and I want him and I want to hire his ass, I'm not letting him fucking leave the building without
Well,
a
you
fucking
have
contract.
to. That's the rules. But like, who is this? But who is this magical person you're referencing that Woody should break
All right,
the
I'm
NFL
thinking
wheel here and circumvent the rules
McCarthy
and say this?
or Gruden. McCarthy or Gruden.
Well, Gruden,
Now,
that's so
Gruden is more of a stretch because of his
Yeah.
email history.
Yeah,
Yeah.
past transgression.
Or
according to your
text-
logic,
email
he'd be the
with
worst
it.
person.
But if
Easy,
you're, but
according
if
to your
you're
logic,
looking
he'd be the
for,
worst idea.
Yeah, to circumvent the rules for
well,
that, yeah, that would look very poor.
Worst idea.
it's
that would-
what I said probably sounds a lot worse than how I meant it.
Okay.
What I'm saying is
That's what AG has said multiple times.
What I meant.
You're a
What I
self-trooper.
meant was what I meant was that Woody Johnson has given a lot of opportunities to a lot of guys. So
Sure.
if he were to just hire someone immediately without letting them leave the
He
building,
gets a hall
I
pass.
don't.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, because he's given multiple guys on multiple occasions. He's already proven himself that he will give an opportunity to someone based on what he feels is his confidence in them. So if he got McCarthy in the building, or if he got Gruden in the building, and he felt like he needed to make a move, I think that the NFL they'd probably fine him, but I don't think it would be like, I don't think people would be going all over the place saying, "Oh, he violated the Rooney Rule. He's bad."
I think he would. I
That's
think it'd
what
be
I'm
more than
saying.
a fine. They would probably prevent the hiring from happening. They would
They would?
intervene.
Yeah,
If he broke
right.
the Rooney Rule and says, "Hey,
Yeah.
I'm just gonna, fuck you, NFL. I'm just gonna hire this guy." They're like, "No, the fuck you're
Well,
not."
I don't.
It stops.
What is the actual
external candidates.
verbiage?
2 external candidates plus there's an internal process. You have to interview people inside your own building. It's almost like any real job where you have to give people a chance inside here, whether it's a real chance or not, and it's Fugazi interview or not. There's that process, and then the 2
Who
external.
Who inside would you
Chris Harris.
give a? Huh?
I'm not saying it's great or not great. I'm saying like Chris Harris, they would check out. I'm trying to think of other people on that.
Banjo might as well.
Yeah, sure. Banjo, obviously. Like, yeah,
Big
there'd be
Banjo.
all kinds of people on the staff.
Banjo might have made the most crucial mistake of all, being so good at one thing they don't want to move you out of it.
Hey, Harbaugh was a former special teams.
It's
coach.
like you're up
I
for.
don't think
It's like if you work for a company and you're like a rock star at this one thing in the company, and you go for the promotion, and then the bosses are all talking. They go, "Yeah, man, Ed, we could give Ed that promotion, but he's such a rock star at what he does. He's better off. Let's just leave him there." That happens to people a lot in corporate. They're so good at that one position that people are afraid to let them move out of that position because they're afraid if he doesn't make it at the higher level, now they have 2 holes to fill instead of 1.
Wait,
here's the
that's
thing,
what she
real
said.
quick.
Right?
That
You've
she
heard
did.
that, Billy, right?
Here's this, right? So if you wanted to do your diabolical plan of just hiring the person you really want, follow the Patriots model, as Jets Worldwide said. It was painfully obvious they're going to hire Vrabel, and they got the most, with all due respect, unqualified people to come in that were never going to be considered for the head coach, but they hired them because those people agreed to do it. It didn't matter. It didn't matter who it was on the planet. It could have been the janitor for the Houston Texans, but if he was of what he was and he was interviewed, that checks off a box, and that's all they had to do. Check. They had the quickest head coaching interview process of all time. I think we came to our decision. Beep, boop, bop. I guess it's Vrabel.
Quick, call Vrabel. Call Vrabel.
Yeah. So there you go. So have it.
So,
but I
real
think,
quick,
because of the historic badness of this team, no interceptions.
Oh, they get another hall pass. I see. Go ahead.
No. I'm saying, no. That's not. I'm just saying. I'm just talking about how AG's got to go.
So the problem is that Johnson is a victim he's a victim of his own
generosity.
No. He's a victim of his own circumstance of being a half of an owner, because he'll always go with whatever decisions being swayed his way over and over and over again. Meanwhile, you know what I mean? So kind of nepotism, because Glenn was an ex-Jet, the falling in love, romanticizing that fact. Romanticizing the fact of taking the hot option. Look what happened when Peyton Manning, when he's like, "Oh, you got to take Gase, you got to take Gase." You're like, he's a victim of that. You know what I mean? Other franchises don't fall to that circumstance because they play it differently. This is why people say we just need to change ownership. And don't forget sweeping under the rug the Brett Favre, taking a couple flicks, picks.
Well, Pete Carroll had a nepotism.
It's Jets, Jets. I love Fireman Ed too.
All right, everybody. Whoa, we got into some weird territory there. I see we have more callers, but unfortunately, I've got other interviews to do, which some of you will be very happy about on the Boy Green channel, so make sure you stay tuned. We got to get off here. Thank you to the 2 hours of Boy Green Daily, the 500 people in the room. Like the video, hit subscribe. Thanks for all the interactions. Crazy-ass show today, but like I said, we have to do some other interviews here on the MC Show digital channel and my channel coming up. So Boy Green Coffee Club members, you'll get an exclusive first peek of that interview that is set to come. You're going to love it. It's one of the insiders that covers the team. I think you're going to really enjoy it. Thank you, everybody, for joining us, and we'll see you soon. Take care. Make sure you guys like the video on the way out. Thanks.